Sweet, sweet cherry, you've joined me again. A fun and important crypto fact. This is really important, all right? This is very important, what I'm about to tell you. What I'm about to tell you is there hasn't been a single crypto coin in existence that has not had a minus 90% crash at some point. Read with me the next line. Read with me. It doesn't matter how small or big the pump is or what the game mechanics they try to apply onto it. 90% came eventually. Plan for it. I'm telling you. You don't even have to believe me. You know what I'm telling you is the truth. You follow me because you know I love you. I'm an outsider like you. We are not in that closed circuit insider trash influencer realm. We don't feed illicit substances to our family friends. We don't steal from each other. We're here to share. We don't send each other to the meat grinder like those influencers do. We're here to grow stronger together. And I'm here to tell you, isn't this cute little bird having a hard time here? He looks stressed, just like everybody else. So, minus 90% comes. Every coin. Every single coin. Early Bitcoin days. Like, you know, of course, Bitcoin's had a big drop. You know this from the start. Going down here. 93% here. This top one. Minus 80%. Minus 86%. So, Bitcoin over time has stopped. Also, you can check Ethereum out. Big boy Ethereum. These are big. You know, they look disgusting on a linear chart. Oh, they look absolutely disgusting. You know, Ethereum's famous minus 94% drop. Round it down to 95. Who cares? You're getting destroyed. Every single coin, friends. Every single coin. So what even gets worse is even on ETH ratio. So this is Link Ethereum. This is Link Ethereum. Absolutely disgusting. It's gone down 92%. So many people say to me, oh, it's going down. Yes, it's better than buying on the way up. Contrary to what everybody else tells you, buying on the way down is better. Because you know, if one of your other assets perform in the future and you get a bit more money, or let's say you work your humble job and it's been 1 or 2, 3 months and you have a bit more money to invest, if the prices have been going down, you get to increase your purchasing power and you get to participate more because you're getting a bigger discount. I know it feels bad. Yes, if you were to say to me, hey, wouldn't you rather just go like this? Yes, I would rather it go like that, but I'm talking for you and even me as well. So for all we know, this might happen. For all we know, maybe other investments we're in, maybe they pump to the moon and Chainlink is still dead on the floor. And I just get to rotate and increase my Chainlink bags. Wouldn't that be great? Because this is big, friends. This is big. Okay. This is huge. You don't get this often. If Chainlink goes back to the middle of this range here, you get a 7x on your Ethereum. So 1 Ethereum, let's say Ethereum was 2K, 1 Ethereum turns into 7 Ethereum. Enormous. So 7 Ethereum. Imagine Ethereum hits $10,000. You now have turned 1 ETH into 7 ETH at $10,000. That's $70,000. You've turned 2K into 70K, a 35x. And you might say, of course, I know you're going to say this. Go, oh, but other coins, Pepe went 2000x, sir. Yes, but there are over 50,000 altcoins out there. Picking a needle in a haystack, it ain't cut it anymore. I was around in the previous cycle. You don't have the luxury of selecting out of a few coins. Unfortunately, there are just too many. Way too many. It's like picking out a grain of sand on the beach. It's too hard now. Before, all you had to see, okay, there's 1,000 apples on all these different trees. Just try to pick ones that look a bit ripe. You can do that. But now there's 50,000 coins. It's gone exponentially disastrous. And these are blue chips. To me, this is worth a lot, by the way, worth a lot. Because firstly, Bitcoin and Ethereum are considered absolute crazy mental asylum volatility by the natural world. So if you can get something that we consider a blue chip to accelerate your Ethereum value, you're killing it. You're absolutely killing it. Because you can sleep at night with these. You can't sleep at night with everything else. Remember, everything drops 90%. You might say, oh, why don't you just wait for the 90%? Well, here's the problem, friends. Here's a problem, okay? I'm going to show you. I made 108x on my Solana in the previous bull market. I'm put it on a weekly chart, and I'm going to put it on regular just so you see. This is the problem, friends. This is the problem. So you think you're smart here because your brain is bigger, and my little peanut brain is salty, rolling around in my skull, nothing else in there. This hit exactly 89.19%. So if you were sitting there waiting for 90, you never got filled. You never got filled. You're still literally sitting here on the bid. Where's my horizontal line? That's where you are. You're still sitting there on the bid. So there's no guarantee they stop there, right? Isn't that funny, man? That's funny. Yes, you actually never got filled. It's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard. There are no rules you can apply to everything all the time. You can't. You need a fundamental belief. You need a background reason to hold your balls and your ovaries up. That's what you need. The undertone we use is, that's why I always talk to you about, they keep printing money, crypto keeps growing, the total crypto market cap should go to 10 trillion. The stock market's 110 trillion. Gold is 10 trillion. So crypto should go to 10 trillion, I think. And we're only 1 trillion now. It's about a 10x. So as long as we have that undertone, you can afford to buy things and sit offside. Because you don't know. I didn't know Solana was going to do what it did. You know, there are huge Solana unlocks, by the way, in December around here. So in 2021, I remember Coin Bureau made a huge FUD video on Solana. My God. I was going to increase my Solana bullets by 10x. I wish I did because I made 100x on this. You know, I was about to do it, but I watched his video and he said, be careful, there's a huge Solana unlock coming. It's enormous. And I'm like, oh, because we didn't know back then. We're like, oh, big unlock, they're going to dump for sure. But they didn't. What they did was they moved it to a secret account. They used it for market making, and then you know how history goes after that. They end up dumping it. Maybe they never end up dumping it. It just ends up going to the poop, right? And the poop, unfortunately, is actually in the sky. So I got this one wrong. Imagine I just did 10x the bullet I already had. It would have been huge. But that's what happened. So what do you really do? At the end of the day, in crypto, this is the harsh reality. I'll promise you now, minus 50% is nowhere near remotely close to being considered cheap. I'm going to write that down for you right now. Minus 50% is racist. You get that? Get that through your head. Get it through your big, squishy brain that fits in your skull barely. Minus 50% will get you destroyed in crypto. Minus 50% is not a discount. I hate to say it, minus 60%, that's also pretty racist, right? I'm going to write that too, right? Minus 60% is also racist. It is. This is just, it's really volatile, friends. You know crypto is really volatile. Minus 50% off the top, that's nothing. Don't even start. That's still the range. I know. That's crazy. Minus 60%. When you want to start to get tickly, someone's tickling you on your feet, that is around minus 70%. You're starting to feel the tingles. That is where you can start to consider something. And look, yeah, I can give you coin examples that never hit this. They went up minus 50% and went to the moon. But eventually when they do stop, they go the full minus 90% or minus 94%. They do every single time. Minus 70% starts. So you might say, okay, you're happy to get in at minus 70%. And then maybe you do another bullet minus 80. And if it goes to minus 90, you get in. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I'm telling you. All you're doing is see your average entry price, which is represented by this horizontal line. It doesn't actually really matter because what really matters is what comes on the right-hand side of the chart. And this is rare, all right? We're not going to get this. I just love looking at this because it's like you dream about these things happening, but it doesn't happen for many coins. Like, for example, right, you got to be careful. So here's Cult DAO. I like using this Cult DAO example. It's very hard to get the proper chart, but Cult DAO, you'll be able to see Cult DAO, unfortunately, everyone got destroyed because they didn't listen to me. This is not the full chart. Cult DAO started down here somewhere. Cult DAO was up 100x. So if I do minus 99% down to get 100x, this is exactly where Cult DAO started. There you go. Up here to 100x. And this is the crazy part. This is Cult DAO. look how long. I mean, it went down minus 94%. It got destroyed. But Cult DAO against Ethereum did not go this much. So this is going to be interesting for you to see. So unfortunately, yes, influencers were saying Cult DAO is the next revolution up here. It was literally up 100x in a couple of weeks. I was like, dude, you're not early anymore. You're out. But what's interesting, friends, is Pepe recently went up 2000x in 5 days. So do you see how I mentioned to you, you can't use this one formula all the time. You can't. I mean, like, Cult DAO went up. Cult went up 100x in like a month, and that was like phenomenal. But then Pepe went up 100x, and now it's up 1000x, and then it hit 2000x in just like 5 days. So you can't just say, oh, at 100x it stops. But you can kind of feel when you start seeing on YouTube influencers, when people start talking about it, now you know it's too late. Because now you know everybody who was going to buy has most likely now bought. There's not much left. Not much juice left in the tank. So Cult, even though it took a while to drop, this is cheap, by the way, you know, now it's 93%. But you can have a look at Cult Ethereum chart. This is a real Cult Ethereum chart. This is where you're going to have to learn from a professional like me, professional peanut brain. This saved me, all right? But look, if you're long Cult, you don't have to worry. I'm just letting you know, okay? So I got this. See this? Bang, yay, 100x. And I want you to know, Cult, this is Cult versus Ethereum, right? Cult versus Ethereum was only minus 80% here. I remember this. This is the anger phase of crypto. So it was minus 80% from the top. And there were Cult people saying to me, hey, my friend Sami, you have said to me, minus 80% is now cheap in crypto. It is. It's true. It is cheap. If you're holding to 2025, it's cheap. But, big but, crypto can be a disastrous scam, and it can stab you in the back, and then you turn around and stabs you in the face. It's very ferociously violent. Very volatile. It breaks my heart how many people get destroyed. Even us, we all get destroyed because you can't deal with it. The upside's getting less, but the downside is still there. It's getting more disgusting, friends. It really is. It hurts to think about that. You're not getting the euphoric gains you used to, but you're still copying this disgusting, pathetic minus 90%. Look at this. This went minus 80%. Right? And I sat here and I just knew. I'm like, you know, I can only say this because I like Cult DAO, but I'm not actually a religious believer of Cult DAO. So I can actually say this to you because I'm unbiased. I said minus 90% is all I'll take. And people were shocked. They go, how could you say after waiting all this time to get back in, minus 80% is not good enough for you? I said, well, I know crypto, man. Crypto scams everyone. That's the truth. Crypto is getting harder and it scams everyone. So I remember, you can go back and check my charts. I remember just drawing a line here, bang, minus 90%. That's, it only hit minus 80%. Look what happens, I don't know. It started curling up and it was a green candle up here. And people saying to me, oh, you missed it. Doesn't matter. I'm here to tell you, friends, it does not matter. Doesn't matter. Why? The undertone. That's why I'm telling you, before I show you what comes on the right-hand side of this chart, I want you to see Bitcoin during this time. Bitcoin's still in anger phase, depression phase. Bitcoin, there is no need to FOMO unless Bitcoin is back, I reckon, above 50 to 60K. That's when you're like, uh-oh, I better start FOMOing now because we're going to do a big powder keg move in the next 15 months. There's no guarantees, but this is most likely what it is. We were nowhere near that. The market's still in bear market mode. Retraces are deep. Liquidity's thinner. People come and they smash everything out. There's just too much PTSD and fear. This is something I learned from when I came into the market in this zone. I learned everything. Every time something went up a bit, bang, everyone smashed it down because everyone's so deeply caught offside. No one wants anything to do with crypto. It's never going up again. There's just too much pain. So I learned this. So that's why I applied it again. And I'm not even going to really say it saved me because really you're not going to sell anyway. So did it really save you? You increase your purchasing power. You get a bit wiser. But I'm just here to tell you that you save yourself from a bit of FOMO. Because look at this. Even I was surprised. comes down, hits around the 90% mark. I think it hits this right on 89, 88%. So, but I'm still not getting in. It could go up. It could go up, just like SHIB and anything else. But I'm here to show you everything in crypto, man. Everything just goes 90%. It sucks. It sucks. So how do you know? Right? I've already shown you. Minus 50% is not good enough. Minus 50% is not enough to tell you that the party's over. Many coins can go minus 50, minus 60, or minus 70%, V reverse up, and then go back up. Or they only hit the minus 80% mark and go back up. Very rough. I mean, last example, I'm going to show you just Matic. Matic during the bear market. This is not the full Matic chart. I'd like to show you one of the big Matic original charts. It starts from much lower, but this is just the recent ones. So Matic, look at this, didn't even go anywhere. It dropped minus 67% and then straight away V reverse up. See? And then look at that. How much of a scam does this feel? You finally break this top. Look at this level. Okay, let's drill this. This is why, friends, like I'm telling you now, man, your TA and stuff, I mean, it's cute. I love trading and everything, but the real money is in contrarian, deep value investing, long-term view. That's the real money. No rational person is going to watch this. You go, oh, resistance. Oh, resistance. We come back up. Oh, we're popping. And then look what happens. Scam. See you later. Explain that one to me, by the way. How the hell do you form resistance over freaking 2 years, finally burst above it, and then everyone's scammed? Tell me that. No rational person who's managing risk, who's a deep value long-term investor, would look at this and say, yes, I will continue to hold everything. But if this was to succeed, and I don't think Matic's going to be the one who's going to kill it. I think it's a poopy chain. Well, I know it's a poopy chain. Right? If it was to succeed, you have to hold through this. So that's why I'm letting you know, you got to really believe, baby dolls. You have to truly actually believe. You got to be so deep in the doo-doo that nothing the price does is going to shake you out. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. SHIB did a minus 99% before it went up the first 400x and then dropped minus 94% and did the next 4000x. So explain this one to me. How the F did Matic just do that? Just break the top and then drop minus 40%. It's just disgusting. So, but that's why I refused to buy it. By the way, I bought Matic back in 2020. I bought it, friends. So this is a lot of people. They're not respecting the friendship. I'm going to get the full chart for you. Sometimes you have to look around for the full chart to get the historical. Yes, this is the crazy part. Yes, I bought Matic in 2020. I rode it the whole way. I got out. I rode it the whole way. That's a big move, man. Yeah, I rode it the whole way. Scoured out here, got out. People tried to tag me and psyops me and say, oh, it's breaking the high. Look at this. I was getting so much shit here. And then just came back all the way back down. I want you to know, like, did I get back in? No. It tapped minus 89%. But look, you don't want to buy in this exact low. Look, it was after that first week, what were you buying? Just waiting for it. I'm going to go to the top of the next green candle here. It's down 80%. So you might think, yes, I believe it. It's 80% good. It is good. But in this crypto bear market, there are many things down 95%. I mean, Hex went down minus 97%. So many things are down. Compare the discounts. Remember in my earlier chart, Chainlink, Linky Boo, right, is down minus 92%. These are for the discounts. Chainlink's down minus 92%. So in my mind, look at this. Chainlink has a big margin of safety. If this eventually goes back up here, you get a 7x. And if Chainlink goes up here and like, oh, it comes down, you're not even worried. You're like, hello, you're still cheap. You're still cheap. You're still cheap. You get back to the middle of the range. Okay, maybe if you want to exit some Ethereum back, you've killed it. You've made 7x on your Ethereum. But look at the world you're dealing with in Matic. Like you really got to believe in Matic. Look at your discount here. You're only getting from the top minus 43%. If your entry level's here, let's say you bought right here, where are you going to get out knowing what you did? Like, look how pathetic this number is, 90%. That means 1 ETH becomes 2 ETH up here. Look what you're risking, by the way. You're risking it to go all the way back down. Imagine you buy Matic here and it actually makes you learn, oh, I should only listen to my friend Somi, minus 90%, that's it. Imagine it actually comes all the way back down. Matic becomes irrelevant over time. Imagine it happens. I know you can't possibly think that's in your mind right now, but this happens in crypto all the time, man. All the time. I don't buy anything unless you let me smell near minus 90%. That's it. It's a bear market. Be greedy, friends, on the ratios. Now, for you, because you're a baby doll baby cake, you've also got to be reminded that the time to hunt for these discounts, you've run out. All right. It ain't 2022 anymore. We're like 18 to 20 months after the top. You've run out of time. That's it. You had all the time to buy. Now you're going to have to start thinking about the next waves. And obviously, we don't want poopy layer 1 chains. So all of it comes down to the sentiment that was driven from Bitcoin and Ethereum. So don't ever forget this. Every single thing gets tested minus 90%. Everything. Remember, Bitcoin, think about this. Bitcoin dropped minus 77% only. Bitcoin dropped only minus 77%. And I think, let's go back and check Ethereum. So if we check Ethereum, I want to see how much Ethereum dropped in the bear market. The total amount of Ethereum dropped minus 81%. Ethereum dropped minus 81%. And mind you, many altcoins were still making lows here in November. So if you really want to be naughty, when they were making their lows in this anger and depression phase, Ethereum was down around minus 75%. So what I'm getting at is Bitcoin dropped like minus 77%. Ethereum's dropped minus 77 to minus 80%. And the altcoins still went minus 90%. So Bitcoin has been lowering how much it destroys itself in every cycle. It's getting more mature. And probably Ethereum too. They're not going to keep dropping their minus 95% forever. Now it's getting lower over time. But look at all the altcoins. They all got destroyed minus 90% plus anyway. So no one was safe. No one. Except I think 2 coins. Rocket Pool, GMX out of the other 30,000. So at least you now know.